All right, so thank you guys for being here today. I just wanted to go over how to register for summer games, just in case you guys had any questions or anything like that. So I am going to share my screen. Where is share? It's usually on the bottom. There it is. Okay, screen one. Okay, so you can either start on the home page and click Summer Games Delegation Registration, or go to Coach's Corner, enter competition like you do with area games, everything else. Scroll down to the calendar, go over to May, Summer Games, and then you'll click Delegation Registration. In here, it has everything as far as information, deadline to submit, like always, April 1st. Athletes competing in multiple sports. Right here, John, if you want to explain this verbatim what this means.
If you are in athletics / track and field, you can be in no other sports. Okay. If you're in motor activities, you can be in no other sports. Okay. And our reasoning on motor activities is if you're in motor activities, the reason for being there is because you can't do the other sports. The reason for athletics is it's a 3-day sport. Okay. Athletics, although your athlete may be in 3 events on Wednesday, if they're in athletics, they get to do 3 events over a 3-day period. They can do nothing else. The other sports are all if they are in that day. So, for instance, singles bocce, singles cornhole for 8 to 21-year-olds will be on Wednesday. They can do that sport. They can do either cornhole or bocce. But if they want to play on the softball team, softball's Wednesday and Thursday. They can't do it because they're both on Wednesday. I hope that makes sense. They can't do the same day. So an athlete could do, a young athlete could do singles bocce on Wednesday, could do unified cornhole on Thursday, and then they could play 3-on-3 basketball on Friday. So they can do, if it's a sport now, singles bocce is considered its own sport, unified bocce is considered its own sport. Same thing with cornhole. We have eliminated horseshoes. But say they do powerlifting on Wednesday, they can't do, if they're 8 to 21-year-old, they cannot do bocce or cornhole those days. Does that make sense? Anybody have questions? Bowling's a problem because I don't know how many bowlers we're going to get until we get registration, and you don't know what day you're bowling. So if you're bowling, that pretty much is going to take up your Wednesday and Thursday because you don't know which day you're bowling. If that makes sense.
All right. So you'll come down here and you're going to see steps. So on step 1, right here, you registered for this training. I will put the recording from this training right here on how to register. But the first thing you're going to do is summer games. Oh, wait, registration. And then there was the meeting, but here's the registration. So you're going to click that. This right here, everyone will need to complete. Okay. So in here, you'll put your delegation name. Your delegation name is what your delegation roster name is. So whatever that is, it's going to be a number and then your delegation name. So example 01, Special Olympics Oklahoma, 07, Owasso Rams, whatever it may be. Your head of delegation name will need to be put in here, last name, comma, first, and then your head of delegation email, cell phone number, your total number of athletes, your total of young athletes, which is the young athletes program. So if any young athletes are coming, put that there. If no one is, put 0. So put 0 if you have none coming. Total athletes, put that in. Total unified partners. Again, if you're not bringing unified partners, put 0. And then total coaches. This is your HOD and assistant coaches. So total number coming and attending. The cost is $5 per athlete and unified partner. So that does not mean young athletes. It does not mean coaches. So young athletes and coaches, they're free. Your total number of athletes and unified partners is what that is. And it'll be $5 per person. Okay. Payment option, you can click which one pertains to you, add a PO number. Maddie will be going through and we'll get this for you. and we'll email you a invoice. Okay. Here's where you'll do your McDonald's lunch, number of lunches, victory night, and total attending. You'll put your second option down here. If you do not you don't click anything, dance is always going to be available. Bingo, swimming, and movie does have a limit. If you are, if you are going to be moved to your second option, we will let you know. And this will also be in your guys' packets if you click bingo, swimming, or movie, just to let you guys know what you guys are doing. Afterwards, you'll click submit. And then it will email you your responses. It'll also give us the stuff. So it'll automatically be put in. Okay. So that'll need to be the first thing that you do in step 1. Step 2, this is just to remind you that everybody has to have medical. Now, you should already have your medicals because in area, you shouldn't have competed in area if you didn't have a medical form. But if by chance you slip through and you get here, you need to get this on because we will be letting you know. We send, just like at Winter Games, we'll be sending you guys emails saying, hey, you're not able to compete because there's not a medical form. But areas should be getting this pretty squared away that by the time you reach in summer games. But I know that registrations for summer games are also now where you're also in your area registering for area events that's coming after. So just know that if you do not have medical on file, then they will not be able to compete at summer games. In your delegation rosters, that's why we've collaborated in that. You'll have a red in your athlete or unified partners release on there. If it's red, that means we do not have it on file. If it's not on file, we are sorry. We don't know why we don't have it on file, but just resend it through the medical process. Now, for summer games registration templates, on here it does explain the team name. For unified doubles, bocce, cornhole, golf, tennis, it will be the athlete's first and last name, and then that / unified partner first and last name. That's what you'll put in the team name. If it is a team sport, not a unified doubles, you'll do a delegation and color, or like Idabel does, they do Idabel Alpha Wars, Idabel Mega Warriors, stuff like that. Owasso has done colors. For single events, just leave the team name blank, because single events, there's no team name, right? You will need to put qualifying scores for certain events. So make sure that you put those in there. Just so you are able to see what they look like, we can go over it. I will open the by day. Okay. So when it opens, it will show this, enable editing. This is also here to help you, to show you which events are here. You can click the master schedule, track and field schedule, which we will go over right now because that has changed. Okay, so again, John, if you want to go over this, unmute yourself.
Most people tell me to mute myself, not unmute myself. We were having a lot of dead time at track, a lot of things. So we have compressed the schedule pretty drastically. If you'll notice, softball throw is only on Thursday now. There is no Friday for the 22 and up on Friday. It's all on Thursday now. Turbo jab's still there. Some of the times have changed and we've compressed everything at the track. You're probably going to be done. That last event's probably be done by 3 o'clock. We'll probably be out of there by then every day. Hopefully it'll give you guys time to go to Healthy Athletes. Track events will always take precedent over the field event. So if there is a time that you're in both, let the venue director know, come to the rules table at the track, let them know you've got a deal, and we will take them from their track event to their field event. Any questions on the track schedule? Major change. First time we've changed that in probably 25 years. So.
All right. So, let me go back to that. So anyway, so here's all the days of the events. That way you see it. You're going to click down here, Summer Games registration. So this is where you'll do just like your other competitions, copy and paste. Here, it's only going to show Wednesday events. So you'll click your Wednesday event. Over here will be Wednesday events. Make sure to scroll up, scroll down, because I know a lot of times people might see this and think there's no bowling. Scroll up and you'll see your bowlings. And then this, because it's singles bowling, you don't need to worry about that. As a qualifying score, you won't need to worry about that because we get that from Winter Games. And then Wednesday team name, it's a singles event. Then let's say you're like, okay, I'm gonna go over here. Because bowling is a Thursday event as well, you have to do bowling. So you'll come over here, do singles bowling. That's what we mean by if it's on 2 days, you have to click them on both days because we won't know when you're competing, whether it's Wednesday or Thursday. You'll do the same thing, come over here to Friday, then you can click which Friday event you are able to do. But you're going to continue that with all of your athletes and unified partners with those sports. Now, because athletics is different on that, athletics has its own registration, which looks exactly like areas. So you'll just complete this just like you would an area. MATP, same things, just like areas, you'll complete this. Tennis is the same thing. So just like areas, these three are just like the areas, but these three were more complex than could follow with all the other sports with summer games by day. So by day, if you're not competing in these three, then you can sign up for that. Here's the bowling qualifier list. If you need to look at it to make sure your athlete got first place and it's on there, that is there. Then you would submit. So you can click that, click submit registration. Oh, I
Brittany, I
didn't
want
link
to
it, I guess.
say something real quick about
Go
bowling.
ahead.
We had a chat, someone asking about a non-qualified bowler. If you have a bowler that did not qualify first place at Winter Games, we will consider taking them. You will still go ahead and register them. We will not know how many qualified bowlers are going to actually bowl. A lot of them qualify, then either don't come to summer games or they do a different sport. And we will take people, but there's a limit, and a qualified bowler is going to get preference over a non-qualified bowler. So there is the chance if you register for bowling and you're non-qualified that you will not be able to bowl. Okay. Sorry, but
Perfect. Summer Games registration is going to be the same way. You'll click it. It'll get to Dropbox. I actually need to link this. I notice it's not linked, so I will need to link this. But you will name it your delegation name, and then the sports, by sport, your delegation name, athletics, and stuff like that. So depending on what you're doing, that's what you'll name it. So if it's your athletics one, you put athletics. If it's the MATP, up here, for the registration template, that's what you would name it. So registration template for MATP athletics tennis, you would name it that. If it's the by day, you would name it by day. So it'll be your delegation name, athletics registration, delegation name, MATP registration, delegation name, tennis registration, and then delegation name by day registration. And then you will submit it here. I will get that up. Your payment, there is an online option just like in the past. So you can just put your delegation name here and then add to cart, and it will then go to the process for that. Over here, there is a registration list. I will put out starting, I put February 6th, but that should say March, starting next week. That should be next week. So it'll be March. So as people start registering on that submit button, I will do just like Winter Games, where every week I'm updating the list. You can go in and make sure, first of all, that everyone in your delegation that you've registered is on that list. And then second, that they're in the correct event, the correct sport event, all that stuff. That helped a lot at Winter Games. Please check this. It helped a lot with team delegations that actually checked it. There was a couple that never checked it until the very last second. Once we heat it after the deadline, we get everything heated, it's set. So please check this. After you turn it in, you hit submit, make sure it's that following week, and after I get that going, I'll make sure to put a list of the days to check it. Because just like the 6th, which I believe, let me double check that. I know it says February. I do need to change that to March. Which is a different day. So yeah. So starting on every Friday, it'll be updated. So if you submit Friday, you may not be shown until the next week. So just know that but you can always call and ask, and we'll make sure that you know. But every Friday, we're going to be uploading it, or Monday, sorry. Gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. Mondays. So Monday, March 4th. I will fix that. Monday, March 4th, I will do that. So if you submit on Monday, it's probably not going to be there because I've went and done all the Fridays, right? So Monday through Friday will be updated on this list. On Monday, you're going to see it. That next week, on the 4th, if you submitted on the 4th, I may not have seen it yet. And so it's probably going to be on the 11th update. You know what I mean? So just give it time. Know that it is Monday. So if you do register on a Friday on the 8th, and the 11th is that updated list, you're not going to be put on the list till the 11th. I know at Winter Games, some got confused and would call me and be like, hey, I'm not on the list. I'm like, when did you register? Well, I registered today. Well, the list is every Monday, so it didn't get updated yet. So it will be every Monday starting March 4th will be the day that we start updating that list. And then every week on Monday. We then, after the deadline, we will get everything in and do one final, hey, everybody, we put on social media, we email you guys, everything will say, please check the list. One final look, make sure we got everything correct, make sure they're in the right sports, the right events. So that way we know it's all finalized. And then after heating is done, we're all good to go. Okay. So please make sure you check the registration list as it goes along. Summer games maps we will be putting on here, and it'll be coming in the final packet as well. Hopefully we get it sooner, but I know that there's some changes that they're making, so we don't have the maps up here yet. Summer games theme, 55 monster years, keep on trucking. You can always email Paige if you have any questions as far as logos and t-shirts, designs and stuff like that. You can get that. The OSU housing information is up. So when you click that, you come here and you can start registering for your housing at OSU. So that is live now. And then just general summer games information will be below here. And then you can contact us with any questions. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Have you guys looked over this stuff? Here's the 2024 summer game schedule if you need to know. By day, Paige worked really hard to kind of do a better, hopefully, understanding and look of it so you can kind of see day by day. She did do it by alphabetical order in the event because she kind of figured, it was in time order, but you're kind of looking for the event first before the time. So it might be easier for you guys to find what you need. And it has exactly the venue notes about it as far as like dates and stuff like that. So make sure to look at that, and that can help you also decide on what to.
And do realize this will probably change a little bit as registration, as we know how many people are in bocce. We could add a session, we could delete a session. So that very well might change a little bit.
Does anyone have any questions?
Brittany, I want to talk about just a couple other little things. There is a possibility we're going to lose parking at the track, at the high school track where we've parked down into that shopping center. We may not have access to that this year. We are working on a plan, which very well might include you being able to drop off, and you will be able to drop off right at the track door. We'll let buses in this year, drop off and go park somewhere else. There is a possibility that we may have to come up with a parking lot and run a shuttle for bus drivers, which very well could happen, where you drop your kids off, go park your bus, and we shuttle you back and forth with a van or something. That's going on. The south side of Boone Pickens Stadium is going to be under construction again, where last year it was the north side, this year it's the south side, Olympic Village, and everything will move back to Hall of Fame side of the stadium. And bocce will be back on Hedge Field again and not in the stadium while they're working on it. That's the big things. Nobody has a single question? Wow. Brittany, you did good.
Well, you guys can always call us, email us if you do have any problems, anything, please let us know. And we will get with you guys as soon as we can. Thank you guys.
See ya.